Hey everyone, happy Christmas and let's start with this new tutorial, which is going to be about the Apple's iWatch. Let's turn it into an illustration in Figma. So without further ado, let's get started. And the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to create a rectangle right here. So we're going to turn this guy into a actual mockup, and yeah, let's do that. Going to make a 50% opacity, and actually let's bring down the opacity also over here. So, and we must add a stroke, otherwise we have no clue what we are doing. So we're going to keep it pretty basic for this tutorial, and I hope everybody had a great Christmas Eve. I surely did. I ate so much I can barely move around anymore and was pretty cool. So let's go over here. Let's create this outline with the vector tool, and let's just try and make it as smooth as you can. Here we go. Vector 1, vector 2. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to duplicate this guy, and actually for the sake of this I'm going to show the keyboard right here. Cool. And let's flip it around. We flip it like this. Cool. And let's merge all of this together. Yup. Union selection. That didn't do anything. So probably what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove the stroke, and I'm going to make it one single bit and then add the stroke again. All right, cool. So now the other thing that we're missing is the actual watch dialog right here. Cool stuff. And we're going to apply the same stroke as we did above. And we are in business. Now let's duplicate this top guy right here. Let's make it vertical. And cool stuff. All right, now I think I'm going to keep it just pretty straightforward. And let's do one thing. Let's make the background white, so everything is going to look much better. Now let's just play around with some colors, some ideas, some things, and let's go right here, make it 100%, bring it back, make this one white. So there's a few things that we can do actually with this iWatch. We can either make it, we can either keep it simple, so just having it as an outline, or we can actually go ahead and create something which is a little bit more visually interesting. So maybe using some gradients and stuff like that. Just want to see if this does anything. No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead here and let's maybe make this one a linear gradient. So we're going to try and have a look at the original and see where the shadows are. So basically here we have some shadows, here we have some more light, here's definitely less shadowy. So we're going to try and mimic it. So let's go ahead, let's remove the stroke for the time being, and let's go back here and flip these guys. Right, flip 1, flip 2. I'm going to move the keyboard on the left. Now let's go ahead and try and create something which looks visually interesting. So this is definitely not it, but we ain't giving up right now. So let's probably go ahead and try and add some effects. Inner shadow, not really. Yeah, maybe, no, not really fencing this direction. All right, let's try and make this one darker. And now what we are going to do is we're going to try and add some depth over here. So linear, and this one's going to be white, just like this one here. And let's change the fill right over this section. And let's probably try and take something on these lines. Let's remove the stroke. Not quite convinced yet. I think we definitely need some shadows. Yeah, that's already helping out quite a bit. The general direction, not really fancying it. Maybe let's just make this guy white. He's already looking more clean. Okay, so I think this is already going somewhere. You can already see like different oops, and we forgot the dialogue. Okay, we definitely need to add this one, guys. I'm actually wondering if it's worth considering making this, giving it one more layer of extra details. So that's something which I'm actually wondering if it's really worth doing. Let's give it a try over here. And for this one specifically, I'm going to add some more layer of details actually. This is going to be semi. Okay. Okay, cool. So overall, this is starting to take some shape. I'm going to bring it all the way here. So, all right, this is interesting. I kind of like the gradients that are going around here. So maybe let's try and do something similar for this guy right here. So we're just going to go like one step further with the gradients. Maybe remove some of the shadows, but yeah, let's do that. So probably something around these lines, and we're going to try and just replicate this. And this one here. Let's try and take the same color, and cool stuff. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to simply actually remove a little bit of a shadow, since we don't really want it right here. Especially not such a big shadow, that's for sure. Maybe something around these lines. Then make the stroke way smaller and way less present visually. That's even a word. I'm going to duplicate this guy, bring it over here. Apply a 50% opacity just to give it that look on the sides. And this obviously is a stylized version, so I'm not really expecting to have the same visual appearance, but I mean overall I think we can be happy with this. So let's just change up this guy right here. and we're gonna go with something around these lines when it comes to the actual color. Yeah, could work. Or maybe we can go with the white. It's just a matter of personal preference. Maybe I'm just going to keep it white for the time being. And the one thing we could have actually done was to add the inner shadow instead of the outer one. But yeah, I think this one is looking pretty cool. And of course, this is just, you know, a stylized version, so we shouldn't really focus on it too much, I guess, when it comes to, you know, making it perfect and equal as the one on the left. But yeah, this is already starting to look pretty cool. It's great, a few variations of these watches. So I'm just going to change the colors. Let's try something like that. All right. All right, let's remove this first one. I think I'm just going to copy the style and then just paste the other one. I think that's gonna be quicker. And I'm not really in love with this color actually. I think there's definitely maybe more on the yellowish side. Could try just to make it a little bit more, like, stand out a little bit more. Not quite as much, but it a little bit lighter. And yeah, this is already starting to look good. All right, so we have our mockups right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create an artboard, and I'm going to create two versions. So actually, let's change the color of the background. Let me add it a little bit of a blue tint. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a rectangle below. Let's make this a darker one. And let's duplicate all of these watches right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create, actually I'm not sure if that's gonna be a good idea. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to duplicate this just to see like the before and after and see which one is going to look the best right afterwards. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think I can pull it off. So let's try and create like a darker version of these, and probably going to go and use a very simple linear gradient, because I don't really want to go and create like excessive amounts of these. Solid and linear. Then these guys are going to be, oh, okay, for some reason I didn't have it at 100%, so let's do that. All right, so we essentially have two different versions. Maybe I like this one above the most, but hey, and you never go wrong with doing some extra trials and experimentations with this kind of things. So cool stuff. This is pretty much it for this tutorial, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you liked it and you want to learn more about Figma, I recently launched a new Figma course, so feel free to check it out in a link in the description. And yeah, I'll see you in the very next video.